Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the November 2017 update for Bird Brain Flight School. I'm Rob, and this is my Unreal Engine 4 game. So, I've done quite a bit of work since the last time we met. So first off, you'll see there's a bunch of planes in the sky. I would hate to be an air traffic controller in this area, but I just wanted to make sure that the planes were definitely spawning, that we would definitely see them. So first off, let's gain a little altitude this time. We haven't been seeing anything high up. So you see, as I start getting altitude, I'll start passing through some thin layers of cloud. There's a little bit of density building up and further. And now my screen is starting to ice up. Some altitude quickly. And that frost is going to encroach further and further on my screen until I have a hard time seeing anything, at which point too high and it kills me off and puts me back here. I've also got another death state for crashing into the ground. Hey, on our way to the ground, let's take a look at this river, which has been updated. So now the white water where it meets the shore, or where there's very shallow water, is definitely more visible now. I've helped out the reflection, and the normal map for it, which we're not seeing greatly at this camera angle. Here's a good look at the white water that we can get. But let's go ahead and make a nice sharp turn around so we can get some of the reflection and see that normal map. Yeah. So that's much nicer than it was. Next, I've been working big time on foliage, so now you'll see it slowly fading in as I start getting closer and closer. We've got a bunch of grass and bushes, quite dense grass, really, and trees. So before I was using a whole bunch of different kinds of trees, and that was actually a mistake. I shouldn't have been using so many trees. Ended up making such a huge performance hit with the game trying to render all these different kinds of trees and have them interact in each their own way. So I limited it down to the one tree. I further simplified the material a little bit to make it, well, for one, fade off better at distance. So you see there, the trees that are farthest away on that farthest hill, there are no leaves on those trees because of the distance that I'm at. If I zoom in, you'll see them kind of fade in and fade back out, depending on the distance and what I can see on the screen. And I made it a little bit closer before it goes into the high detail, right? So I've got to be quite close to a tree before it starts self-shadowing itself. Next, I added a deflection shader, so let's slow down a little bit, and you'll see these branches will start pushing themselves out of my way as I get quite close, which helps a lot with visibility. I was noticing that when I was starting to fly through trees, all these little planes of leaves ended up just flattening out together and making just a wall and noise of green. So this way it kind of comes away from you and you're able to see what's going on the other side. So I took that deflection shader and I brought that also to the bushes and the grass, which I'll show right here. So this bush, oh, that really didn't do much on that one. Okay, let's slow right on down. Go through this nice and slow. And you see the bush. And also for the grass. Oh, I just love how the grass parts its way as I come flying by. And let's even get down into the real dense grass. I made it a little bit thinner up here, but it's quite dense right next to the town. So this grass, I took the original grass, which was from the Open World collection from Unreal, and I just wasn't happy with it. The way that the light worked off it was not very accurate, I found. You ended up losing depth, and it was quite noisy because of the texture. So I've actually removed the texture altogether, except for the alpha mask, which of course is needed to make the actual cutouts of the individual blades of grass, and then change the entire rest of the material. So just a color fade from darker green to lighter green to get the fade from the root to the tip. and then applied the deflect shader, so I've got all that nice effect. Changed around the specularity and the metallicness of it. So now, whereas before, it would basically just fade out into dark green black noise. Now, as you look around, you can see it grabbing the light as it hits different angles and different heights of grass, and I feel makes it feel much more like real grass. You're really getting those the bright, shiny highlights of clean grass. So that's about it for now. Oh yes, a couple of new assets. So I built some quick walls that I can snap together and build some town, uh, castle remains or ancient town. I've got some of these market stalls added in, as well as those large towers over there you can see on the hill. On top, of course, those wonderful, wonderful plains. So that about covers it for now. I will let you know about the updates as they come about. I'm basically working on trying to get the open world tools going so I can have a proper streaming world. I'm new to that, so it's taken some learning before I can get that to work the way I want it to work, or for me to understand how it's supposed to work. So we'll see how long it takes for me to get that going. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've been Rob, this has been Bird Brain Flight School, and I will see you all in the next episode. So.